For today's yin practice, you're going to want to have maybe a pillow, a large pillow with you, or a blanket, a thick blanket or a thick towel. You can just put those off to the side, hit pause, and grab those props as we get ready to start our yin practice today. We're just going to start with a little movement, so come into table before we hold postures. Fingers spread wide, shoulders stack over your wrists. We're going to drop into cow, so drop the belly, and then exhale round to cat. Moving slow, pausing at the top of the inhale, pausing at the bottom of your exhale. Just feeling that roll of your body, the roll of your breath like a wave. Just massaging your spine, starting to deepen your breath. Flowing at this pace of your own breath, and then maybe you dip the hips to the left and then the right, kind of dipping hips to shoulders, stretching side to side. And then walk your hands a few inches in front of your shoulders, shift forward, modified chaturanga, lower all the way down. Inhale to low cobra, exhale chin or forehead to mat. Inhale, press back table. Exhale to child's pose. Flowing a few more times in that. Shift forward, inhale, table. Then slowly flow into your chaturanga. Inhale, half up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press back to table. Exhale, child's pose. One more inhale, shift forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Lower back down. Inhale, pressing to table, and exhale, presses you back, child's pose. And we'll just hang in child's pose now, our first yin posture. And so what we're looking for in the next few postures is not to go at 100% in each one, but to move more at about 60% of depth. What we're doing in yin is we're building resiliency in our connective tissue, helping it to be able to withstand more discomfort, as we're all kind of walking in that space right now in life, that this is building resiliency within us. Feel free to take any posture with your hands, and then just practice stillness. Today's class, we're focusing on a returning from worry back to presence. A return to being present. And there's a quote that says, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. Now is always vast and new. It's unknown. There's possibility. There's potential. There's provision in the present. So as you're in your child's pose, you're deepening that belly breath. Take that in, inhaling presence. Feel the the back body expand on your inhale. As you exhale, leave behind any worries that this time in our history is bringing up for you. as you're ready, just press yourself back up, slowly making your way to seated. Excuse me. You can take a pillow or your blanket, and if you want to just give yourself a little lift, sitting at the edge of the blanket or the pillow will come into a wide A. Just helps your hips stay neutral, helps your pelvis stay neutral here. If you don't need it, no worries. And again, 60%, not our full expression of this posture. Just find a slight flex in the feet. Feel the crown of your head reaching up as you feel the breath lifted here. If it's available to you and you want to walk forward into a fold here, you can take a blanket as a support just to make it a little more relaxed. If that's too deep, we just stay lifted. So again, as you move slowly with intention, you just allow your body to tell you how far it can go today, where it needs to back off. Where can you be gentle with yourself in this practice? I think this time is teaching, I know it's teaching me, but I think it's teaching many people how to be present. When our schedules aren't so filled, when we're not running around, when our social calendars aren't loaded, we're kind of invited to a slower pace. And it's revealing to us if we're getting ahead, excuse me, and moving into the future filled with unknowns. And yet, because things are changing so much, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, all we have is right now, this present moment, to just savor it. So again, with your breath, you're inhaling presence, freedom, beauty, and exhaling out the worries of the future. And to even root your mind in the present right now, and your body, count your breath. A slow inhale, and then an even exhale. If you find yourself trying to wander out of this space. Gently walk yourself back up if you are folding. And then we'll take the backs of the knees and just gently bring the legs together. Coming to seated, hugging the knees to chest. And then lie back. We'll just take a reset, bring the feet as wide as your mat, let your knees kiss as you just take in the work of that posture. Feel the blood flow through your body. Feel just some fresh life, some new renewed energy as you lie in the stillness after that opening posture. You are building a resiliency to face hard things in life. You can just hug your knees into your chest now, a few breaths. If you want to bring a little movement before we find stillness again in the next posture, take that. And then we'll come up to seated. We'll take our right leg over the left. You can hug the right knee with your left hand, just gently. The right fingertips go behind you. So you can either hug it or take the left elbow to the outside of the knee. Find an inhale, lengthen, and then an exhale, twist. Again, just about 60% here. Keep your shoulders softening down. Crown of your head reaching high. Feeling the breath move in your body in a twist. If you were to check in with yourself, are you dwelling on things of the past, things you're missing? Are you getting ahead and jumping into the future unknowns, trying to figure them out? Or have you been able to really press into the discipline of being present? It's so much about where we set our intention that can dictate how our mind is, how we feel emotionally. Remembering that the present is vast and new. Slowly untwist. Just taking a simple seated, palms open on your knees. Slow inhale. Maybe a sigh out. Slow inhale. Sigh it out. Just breathing on your own, a few more deep breaths. And then we'll switch sides, take that left leg to the right side. Sole of your foot down on the mat. Left fingertips behind you. You're either hugging the left knee with the right arm, or you're taking elbow to the outside of the knee. Firm the fingertips down, press up on an inhale, exhale, just move slightly into that twist. Wringing out the worries in order to be drawn back into this moment. Maybe just reflecting on gratitude for what you've been given right now. Even in the most basic things, let your heart be filled with all the gifts of the moment, of this day that you've had. As the mind wanders, just come back to focusing on your breath, that steady wave that just keeps crashing to shore gently. Slowly untwist, taking that counter pose in a simple seated again. Maybe the opposite leg is in front. Palms open at your sides. Feel your inhale grow the spine longer. Maybe you put your hand to your heart and your hand to your belly as you feel your breath, as you move with your breath. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. So we want to return to the present moment. We want to return to peace. Because there's so much thrown at us that would take us away. Okay, we'll move into butterfly now, soles of your feet together. If you want to sit on your blanket or pillow again to give you a little lift, if it feels like your pelvis is tipping, you can take that. If you feel secure, just rooted down, your sit bones rooted down, you can stay that way. So find yourself, before folding into this, find yourself just sitting up tall, feeling the effects of this posture, feeling how your body is taking it in. Is it tight here? If it feels like this is your 60%, stay upright. If you want to explore walking forward, we're not forcing the body to do what we want it to do. We're letting our body tell us what it can handle today. So you just drop your chin to your chest wherever you are. I am a person, I've shared this in a lot of my classes, I am a person with a very overactive mind, and a mind that gets very swept up in what ifs. So I'm often trying to plan out the future, plan out the worst case scenarios so I feel prepared, which just causes anxiety for me. And I have never been more aware of my need to just keep coming back to the present moment, to have my eyes open to beauty that surrounds me. I've been so desperate to be outside every day, and thankfully I am somewhere where there's space to walk without being near anyone else. And I've been able to just have nature speak to me, the beauty of just spring coming to life. To just savor vast opportunities that I simply can't see yet, but just to trust that my present moment is full. And I recently sat outside in my friend's yard where I'm staying, and the sun was just warming after a crisp day, and the sun was on my face. And all I could hear were just birds singing in the trees around me. Their own freedom songs. And I just sat in that stillness, just taking in my surroundings, the sounds, the sights, the smells, the feel of the breeze and the sun. And all of these senses bring us and keep us in the present. So when you're tempted to go into worry, can you find a special place in your house or outside that gives you a view of the outdoors, where you can ground yourself in the senses, to feel the worries kind of slip away, and to see how nature just exists in the right here and the right now, with no concern of the future, with no living in the past. They're just existing in the present. And how that can speak to our souls in this time. So you're ready, walk yourself back up if you were folded. Again, gently just bring the knees in. Wrap your arms around your shins and just draw your chin to your chest as you slowly feel the effects of that posture. We'll come off our pillow if you were using that. Make your way down onto your back. Again, just feeling that reset, feet wide, knees kiss. Noticing any sensations in your body as we've been just holding postures. Is there a word that you would use to describe how you're feeling in this present moment, this part of the class? And you can let your legs go out long. We're going to come into a little lying side bend here. So just reach the upper body over towards the left. Keeping the hips rooted, the lower body also comes over to the left. So you're kind of in this little banana curve, and maybe the left ankle crosses over the right to guide the right ankle more left if you want a little more depth. Shoulders are both rooted down onto the mat. Release any gripping in your hands, in your jaw, your shoulders. Knowing it's okay for you to just be, even in your practice, to not be constantly moving, but just to be in a posture and breathe is building resiliency. To just be in our circumstance, to stay in the present, is building resiliency. To face hard things of life. And yet find our anchor of peace and presence. And as I was outside that day, just listening to birds and feeling the warmth of the sun, I was immediately brought to the text that talks about the birds and the wildflowers, where Jesus says, look at the birds, free and unfettered, not tied down to a job description, careless in the care of God. And you count far more to him than birds. Walk out into the fields, look at wildflowers. You can slowly untwist, taking your reset posture, feet wide, knees kiss, before taking the other side. Just feel how the right side was opened on that. Feel the difference between your right and left side body. And then when you're ready, switching sides, curving over to the right, keeping the hips rooted, shoulders rooted as well in the side opening. And then that right ankle crosses the left. So you feel more space being created on the left side. Maybe the gaze drops over by the right bicep. So walk out into the fields or look out your window at the flowers. They never primp or shop. But have you ever seen color and design? If God gives such attention to the appearance of wildflowers, don't you think God attends to you, takes pride in you, will do God's best for you? What I'm trying to do here is to get you to relax, to not be so preoccupied with getting, so you can respond to God's giving to you in the present. Steep your life in God reality, God initiative, and God provisions. Don't worry about missing out. Don't worry about how you'll be cared for. You will find your everyday human concerns will be met. So be carefree in the care of God, right in the center of this pandemic. Slowly come back. And when I say carefree in the care of God, I don't mean be unwise, following the safety precautions, and yet in your home spaces, find that spirit that's carefree. You can hug your knees into your chest. We're going to come into another lying spinal twist. So grab your pillow or your blanket just to give a little more comfort and ease. We'll scoot the hips to the right, drop the knees to the left, onto your pillow or blanket, arms open like a T. If you are in the present, just as the birds of the air, the flowers that are growing and not rushing, that have withstood winters and find new life. If you are living in the present, you are at peace. So just noticing what those words speak to you today. Just feeling free to exhale, sigh out anytime your breath feels like it catches something that feels too much, that's taking you out of the present. Just sigh it out. It's your body's way of just wanting to let go of some things. In this stillness, stay connected to your deep breath. And slowly come up out of the twist. Find your reset. Check in with your body and notice even the small sensations. Learning to tune in and listen to our body helps us to recognize when we're overwhelmed, when we're holding our tension. And as you're ready, we'll switch sides. Bring your pillow or blanket to the right, scoot your hips to the left, and drop your knees onto your pillow. Finding that soft space between your eyes, your jaw is settled and relaxed. Shoulders are relaxing away from your ears. Knees are rested on something soft and comforting. Maybe with your eyes closed, you just envision yourself at the ocean in the early morning, before on a still morning, when it's just this gentle, the waves just gently come up to shore and quietly go back out. That's your breath. That's your peace. Leaving tomorrow in tomorrow. Leaving what was in the past. And just breathing in the vast, beautiful now. Slowly come back center. Hugging your knees in, and then we're going to take our blanket, and you're going to want to fold your blanket a longer way. So opening it up so that you have a lot of room. We're going to lay on it. So roll the blanket. If it feels too thick, you can unroll it a little bit. We're going to take it horizontal with the back of your mat. We're going to just do a little gentle heart opener. So you're going to want that blanket roll to be just at like the bra line or your mid back. And just let your arms, maybe they come up overhead if that feels good. If you want to take your legs in just like a simple seated posture, they can be out long. They can be in butterfly legs. Your feet can be on the ground and your knees kissing. But as you breathe here, breathe into the back of the heart. Feel that towel or blanket supporting you, encouraging you to just open up, be carefree in the care of God. Allow your body to tell you where you're trying to hold tight, where you're anxious. And as you feel those parts of your body tightening, can you just allow your breath to tell you it's okay? The present moment is okay. You're okay here. I know for me, most days I feel at peace, but there seems to just be this underlying current of anxiety that's just like rumbling slightly beneath the surface. The what ifs can really fight to take the forefront of my mind. But what I've learned is that usually all these what ifs and the things I worry about don't actually turn out the way I thought, or they don't even happen at all. I have because right now I don't have a home, so what if I never find a rooted place? What if I never make enough money to get rent? What if I never see this person again? What if the dreams I'm moving towards fall apart? What if this? What if that? Fill in your own blanks. And every time my mind is going there, I just feel that nudge that says, just be here. Just be here. Remember every other time you've had those questions. And when you least expected it, all of a sudden you were walking it out. A way was provided. You just don't know the time and the way. We'll slowly start to come out of it. So gently lift yourself up. We're going to remove the towel or the blanket, just putting it off to the side. As we come, taking our Shavasana, letting your legs go out long. Find a full breath in and a sigh out. So you just let yourself be. Just notice how it feels to be here at the end of the practice from where you started. Where do you feel a lightness? And as you're in Shavasana, maybe you start to envision yourself outside in your favorite landscape. Maybe you're in the forest walking. Maybe you're up in the mountains, at a waterfall or in the meadow, at the beach. What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you see? How are your surroundings speaking? How is God speaking? So you're ready, you can hug your knees into your chest, rolling onto your side. As you're ready, just coming up to seated. Eyes closed, your gaze just softly down as you just hear this quote. A mind that is racing over worries about the future or recycling resentments from the past is ill-equipped to handle the challenge of the moment. By slowing down, we can train our mind to focus completely in the present. Then we will find that we can function well, whatever the difficulties. That is what it means to be stress-proof. Not avoiding stress, but being at our best under pressure, calm, cool, and collective, and creative in the midst of the storm. Bring your hands to your forehead in prayer, peace in your mind, hands to heart center, peace in your heart, and palms at your sides, peace in your body as you move from worry to presence.